Hi, I must just show you this post that I've seen online, and for me it is so unbelievably sad that this is a group, if I can make sure it's there, a group of Catholic Christians in America defending their church from rioters. And I'm asking what on earth this has to do with the Christian faith or with the church, which supposedly represents it. For me, as I look at it, I'm thinking they might just as well turn their guns onto Jesus and shoot him in the head. Crucify him again. Because this message has nothing to do with the gospel of Christ. It is not why he died on the cross at all. Christ died for us. He died because we needed to learn a different way of living. Maybe these people call themselves knights, some Catholics do. And I can understand that to a point, because St. Francis suffered from the same delusion, and God had to painfully and slowly lure him away from that, in order that he might imitate Christ, which surely is what we Christians should all be doing. God creates. All of God's creations are sacred. From the earthworm upwards, down into the earth and out into the atmosphere, all of them, in their innocent reality, are sacred. Jesus describes God's perfection in that he pours out the gifts of life and blessing onto all of those creatures, without limit, with no condition, bar one, that as we receive, we too must share. As with the manna in the desert, we must take only enough for the day. We must not hoard against the hard times. We must not accumulate an abundance, and where we have an abundance, we are called to share it with those who are going without. If you have 2 coats, give one away. If you have too much food, give the excess to the hungry. And so it goes on, always. The Bible telling you to remember and to lift up the poorest. Thomas Aquinas developed that. He said we must do good to others. The common good of many is more godlike than the good of the individual, he says. And that in times of extreme necessity, all things are common property. Now, this is an idea of justice that the church long ago has lost. He goes further in suggesting that if no one offers these poor people succour, they are entitled to take another's goods. When the church allies itself to empire, as it has, it loses touch with reality and its right to exist, because it sides with the greedy oppression practiced by the wealthy and powerful elites, which these people truly represent, especially the so-called white privilege. Those people who take slaves, crush the poor, and take more resources than the earth can afford to themselves alone. It defends only its own power and supremacy with unimaginable cruelty. God will bring it down. Indeed, He is bringing it down with a succession of pandemics, of crises. We have exhausted the earth. We are suffering enormous, unbelievable species extinction because this planet cannot support us anymore. And more importantly, it will not. Today we need to root out the evil that has possessed the church over 2,000 years. I don't think we can do it, but I pray that with God's help we might. Thank you. Please remember that the only things we are asked to do is to do justice, which I'm talking about, to love mercifully, which means forgiving even these false prophets, and to walk humbly. Amen.